So NASCAR is finally making it right, y'all, since I think it's 1971. 1971, finally making it right. Bobby Allison becomes the fourth highest, most winning driver of all time. 84 wins. He was stuck at, or 85, excuse me. He was stuck at 84 forever, tied there with everybody else because of something that was argued in the 70s about Grand National Series running. And there was a mix of cars that ran in a race, and he won, and yeah, it wasn't an official win. Look, Bobby Allison, fourth all-time on the winning list. Got the 85 win today, man. So big congrats to Bobby. I mean, that is what's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bane, coming to you live right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting. Man, I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday out there. It's hump day, halfway through the work week. Weather's beautiful, man. You got to get out and enjoy it. So getting into it, man, the way we like to start the show is word of the day. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say a word. I have no idea what it is. Lawrence will throw it up. Every time I say it, make sure you take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. I always like to say it's age appropriate. If you're under 21, man, sweet tea, Red Bull, energy drink, whatever, man. Get some sugar, stay up. Eat sugar by the spoonful. I don't give a damn. Mary Poppins said it makes the medicine go down. But at the end of the day, man, make sure you come out. Make sure you're following us along here on the live feed, and definitely make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel, y'all. But last week's word was Vegas. Probably said it quite a few times heading into that race there in the Sin City. And again, this week's word is going to be, I have no idea, but every time I say it, take a sip, y'all. So getting right into that NASCAR news, man. Hats off, baby. Got to give big congrats to Joey Logano. Slid in those playoffs and found a way to lock himself into the Final Four right there with that win at Vegas. Not necessarily what I wanted to see. I had Christopher Bell here in our game of skill at coaches. I needed that to happen for me, and it just came up about a half a lap short. But hey, that's the way it goes, man. They played it good. So hats off to Joey. Makes it again. And it's really interesting if you guys go look at when he has made the Final Four and when he hasn't. It's like year on, year off, year on, year off, year on, year off. It's really interesting with Joey Logano for sure. I think he's the most consistent active driver when it comes to those playoffs, maybe outside Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin's got a good run there going too. But I tell you what, man, you let him in. We let him in, and we know what Penske's done at Phoenix. And I'm telling you what, they're going to bring a good car. You just gave them 3 weeks to prepare. They're going to bring a good car. So hats off again. Put himself in the right situation. Came out and locked himself in. Nothing but checkers now. I mean, that's all you got to do is go for the win. So we'll see what Joey does. But again, hats off to him. Wasn't in my Final Four, but hey, he made it. So yeah, good for him, man. Malcolm in the middle, baby. Frankie Muniz coming to the Truck Series full-time in 2025. Got a full-time ride over there in the 33 truck. Going to be interesting to see what he can do. You know, I mean, again, this has been a passion of his whole life. He talks about it. Hadn't been halfway bad over there in ARCA. I think Truck Series, another step up, is definitely the young bucks that are thirsty and aggressive. So he's going to have to get mean. He's going to have to get aggressive, man, and go out there and really drive this truck with any success, because even the veterans of that talk about how these young kids there's no respect, man. It's just all gain and no loss. So we'll see what he can do, but big congrats to him, man. It's a big move in the career as far as, NASCAR goes and racing goes in general. So I'm sure it doesn't hurt to have him for sponsorship either. I'm sure that doesn't hurt at all. So we'll see what he can do and see what that talent brings, man. But hats off and best of wishes to you, man. Hope you do good. So NASCAR is finally making it right, y'all, since I think it's 1971. 1971, finally making it right. Bobby Allison becomes the fourth highest most winning driver of all time. 84 wins. He was stuck at, or 85, excuse me. He was stuck at 84 forever, tied there with everybody else because of something that was argued in the 70s about Grand National Series running. And there was a mix of cars that ran in a race, and he won. And yeah, it wasn't an official win. Look, Bobby Allison, fourth all-time on the winning list. Got the 85 win today, man. So big congrats to Bobby. I mean, that is a legacy sports name right there when it comes to racing and NASCAR in general, man. That guy been around forever. I mean, that is one of the founders of NASCAR that kind of helped build NASCAR into what it is today. Alabama gang member. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, Ford, as Lawrence likes to say. But I ain't worried about any of that. I do have an autograph, though. My sister did get me an autograph from him, And it says Bobby Allison 2 Buckshot, which is what all my family calls me. So I did get that. I don't remember where my sister saw him at. Somewhere, but anyways, got that for me. So shout out to my sister Blythe for that. Good piece of memorabilia I got. If you haven't yet, y'all, go out, like, share, follow, all that social media, man. Lawrence does a great job. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything. But most importantly, go out, subscribe to that YouTube channel. The Kyle Busch shirt's gone, y'all. Winner's going to be announced. We'll be in contact with you. This one is gone. What was that? It's on the sheet. Oh, it's on the sheet. Oh, Lawrence giving away. What we got? Let me see. Patty Pete, 4408 is getting the KFB and a Rubbin' and Grubbin shirt. And I got a couple Kyle Busch trading cards I got over that I collected is going in there. And a sticker as well. So big congratulations to, Patty Pete out there, baby. I mean, hey, Kyle Busch fan, wanting to go somebody that's going to enjoy it. Look, I think it's a really cool T-shirt. It really is an awesome T-shirt. If I was a Kyle Busch fan, I'd wear it. Or if it was Chase Elliott on there, I'd wear it. But at the end of the day, really cool T-shirt, man. Big shout out to 3 Chai for doing that. I won that off Twitter, gave it back away. I want to say I wanted to go to somebody that's going to wear it, man. I'm not a fan, not my cup of tea. I respect him for what he's done, but it ain't my cup of tea. So at the end of the day, man, big shout out again, Patty Pete. There it is. I told you, 4 races left, 4 giveaways. Shirt's gone. Next week, we're going to be giving away this High Point package, which a big shout out to Dale Wheeler out there. Man, I tell you what, like I said, we got a hat. It's going to be local. It's got to be somebody here. I can't ship alcohol. So at the end of the day, High Rock Vodka, and got a bottle for you too, man. A little mixers in there for you. It's going to be a nice little package. Next week we're giving away. We'll have it all set up. But again, if you haven't yet, man, go subscribe. Giving away at the Ultimate Championship Weekend, baby. This one here goes, man. And I've got some pretty cool cars to go with this one too, man. I've got some nice Ryan Blaney's. So it's going to be a nice little package, man. But again, at the end of the day, subscribe. You got a few weeks left, man. But once we get there, that helmet's going. So check it out, man. And like I said, if you're curious, I always like to say the more eyes we get on the show, hopefully the more donations we get, not only for Checkered Flag for charity, but all the events we do here at Coach's Corner as well. So as I always like to say, nickels, pennies, dimes, 10/20s, 150s, whatever you got to give, man, just make sure you give it. It's a great feel for you. Big pat on the back, man. It all stays right here in the local community. So it's a win-win. So make sure you're staying tuned with Rubbin' and Grubbin' and Coach's Corner Sports Network, baby. So moving right along, man. Hey, Michael Phelps is announced as the pace driver for the championship race, man. Aquaman himself is going to be right there in Phoenix in the desert driving that pace car to get us started off for this championship race there. Going to be awesome, man. And I love it. I love how NASCAR incorporates all these different celebrities or athletes or everybody, pace car drivers, grand marshals. It's the greatest sport in the world, y'all. You gotta like NASCAR. So more news, Dale Jr., baby, bringing back the iconic 8 here in a little, national series. Gonna be great, man. I love it. It's it's an iconic scheme. It really is. I mean, we all know what Dale Jr. did inside that Budweiser 8 car, just the dominance he had. And I say it all the time when we talk about it. I really feel like had Dale Sr. never passed away, we'd be talking about Jr. being a champion, probably a multi-time champion. But I think DEI would be a really big staple. I think him and Childress would already come together, put all their nuts in one basket. But I definitely think they would have brought the Thunder for sure. You could already see it. Had the speed, had it all, and it definitely wasn't going to let his son fail. So, but at the end of the day, man, big congrats. Can't wait to see it back out there on the track, baby. William Salwich lit, man, 18 full-time next year, 18 full-time next year, man. And if you hadn't kept up with this kid, you really need to check him out, man. He's got a really good run, young, talented driver. Getting ready to go into that 18 car in Xfinity next year. We'll see what he can do. You know, we move them up fast. They're young. We move them up fast, and you got to show up. You got to show up. So I think he has the talent. I think that, again, when you look at Xfinity Series nowadays, the likes of Allgaier and a few other guys, but outside of that, it is all young bucks. And I think everybody's equal. Equipment matters, but I think talent matters too. I think you'll see this kid win a race next year. Mark my words, you'll see him win a race for sure. So something to mention, man. Joey Logano's crew chief, Paul Wolf, is the active winningest crew chief on a box right now in NASCAR. 41 wins this past weekend with that win at Joey. If you know or you kept up with Paul Wolf, started with Keselowski there, won a championship with him, won a lot of races with Brad Keselowski. And I've said it numerous times on the show, and I'll say it again. I think Paul Wolf, outside when Chad Canals was still on top of the box, I think Paul Wolf is probably top 3 for sure, if not right behind Chad. You saw the strategy right there this weekend. I mean, he's got a way to work things out that just win. Man, they win. And I love it. I love to see it. I think, a lot of us put the emphasis on the driver behind the wheel, but we don't really look at the crew chief and the team that it takes to build that car, put it in, have a setup, come there, know what you're talking about, read the data, analyze the data, and put it all together and give you something to drive. So it's definitely a two-way street, and Paul Wolf's one of the best at it, but big congrats to Paul Wolf. 41st winningest drive, winningest crew chief, man, on the box right now in NASCAR active. Something to be proud of. So getting right along, y'all, my favorite part of the show, checkered flag for charity. Hey, if you guys know what we do, whatever car number wins, we always donate in. Joey Logano, 22 bucks going in there, wins it. Hey, I tell you what, I had him 5th. We didn't take him, unfortunately, but I had him 5th, man. At the end of the day, congrats to him. I still don't think he wins the championship. I think he wrecks at Phoenix.
Vegas didn't take him.
I think I wouldn't have taken him either. Evidently, we didn't. I had him 5th, and we didn't. From here on out, we just got to follow the top 5, and then just whatever it is, what it is, because that's like four times this year that it's like, oh, top 5, had him 5th or 4th, then no, we don't take him. I don't know. Anyways, I wake up weird on Sunday sometimes. I'm sorry, y'all. But, hey, before we get into the who's hot and who's not, got to give a big shout out to Arbor Man Tree Service. My main man, Parker Eccles over there, owner-operator, fully licensed, fully insured, locally owned, locally operated, man. All your tree service needs, make sure you give them a call over there, Arbor Man. Doesn't matter what it is, full tree removal, stump grinding, get some limbs cut back. Man, if you just need an estimate, make sure you give Parker a call. As I always love to say, no job too big, too small. Give Parker a call, baby. You'll see that number scrolling all night long on the screen. Again, I love you, brother. Got to get together soon. Maybe I'll see you tonight. I don't know. I mean, you might pop in, man, but I love you, dude. I'll give you a call. So getting into the who's hot, I mean, I'm going to tell you guys like this. Christopher Bell takes over number 1 for me. I think that when you look at these last 3 races between Vegas, Miami, and Martinsville, Christopher Bell is probably going to be the best. I mean, you can argue Kyle Larson there at the first 2, but at Martinsville, not really his forte. Christopher Bell, I think, is the number 1 guy right now. And I think he's starting to get into the prime, right? He's had a career that's lasted a certain amount of time. He's been in the sport. He's been in the top tier of the sport and good equipment for a long time. And it's finally starting to put together. We're starting to get those race wins. We're starting to build into the championship. You're seeing it. He's talented. I've said it. It's not my cup of tea. He's not my favorite driver by no means, but you got to give respect where respect's due, and Christopher Bell deserves it. Just such a nice, young, polite kid, and he's still super young, man. Such a great kid and such a great ambassador for the sport, just the way he carries himself. We all know he's a little upset on Sunday, but nothing crazy, nothing bad. I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So right now you better look out for the 20 coming into Miami as well. We'll see where he ranks on that top 5 when we get there, but you can best believe he's on it for sure. So I'll take, Kyle Larson, baby, Young Money, 2nd. I mean, here we are, fought back really hard there at Vegas, which we'll talk about in a little bit. One of his better racetracks. Going into Miami, another place he's known to run good, going to string it out. I mean, we all know high lines are going to be the way to go eventually. And Kyle Larson's one of the best at it. And again, I think Cliff Daniels and him and HMS, they bring fast equipment every single week. There's no question of, are they going to show up? I can't remember one race this year where it's like Kyle Larson just didn't show up, or didn't contend or didn't have a decent race car. Probably a couple. There's probably a couple I'm missing. But at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, you look at it and you go, oh, Kyle Larson, top 10, top 12 or whatever. So, again, I think it's the most consistent, fast race car that's out there right now. Got to watch out for Young Money because I'm telling you, he can easily win it again. Joey Logano, I got to put him on there, man. Again, Ford driver, not my cup of tea. But sliced bread finds a way to make it happen. Got into the playoffs on Alex Bowman's misfortune, turns around, wins the opening race of the round of 8, locked himself in. that's it. He's there, man. He gets to run for a championship. So, again, I think it's time we do away with this elimination BS. I think all 16 guys should be in until mathematically you're not, but 16 guys all the way down to the end is just how I think about it. But anyways, that's for another day. But at the end of the day, Joey Logano got a chance. We'll see what he can do, man. See if he can come home third time Cup Series champion. So who's not? And I hate to do this, but I got to put Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott on the not list. And this is just strictly playoffs, where we're at. Hamlin, better day than Elliott, and it was kind of out of Elliott's control. I think Chase Elliott probably would have been a top 5 car, top 7 for sure, had he got to finish that race. He just got caught up, and unfortunately, one win and the amount of stage points, this is where it comes back to get you, right? Had he finished that race decent, it really doesn't matter what you do prior, but that one bad finish in the round of 8 there really hurt him. Find himself dead last. I mean, we might as well say it's not, but we might as well say it's a must-win. He's got to come out and win. I don't see Miami being a place that he goes and wins. I think he'll run good. Martinsville, for sure. He's done it before. He's walked off and done it before. I think it's when he won a championship, too. So, who knows, man? Maybe he wins this weekend. Maybe he wins Martinsville, but it's a must-win there for him. But right now, on the cold, Denny Hamlin, I think, is just firing off wrong as we started in Vegas. Not a bad day, but not a great day. We'll see what he does at Homestead, top 10 there, and if we get to Martinsville, you might as well lock it in. I mean, I'll tell you right now, next week in Martinsville, number 1 is going to be the 11. Doesn't matter if he wins this weekend or not. Denny Hamlin is the man at Martinsville. That's the way I look at it. It's how I always will until he retires. So, but at the end of the day, right now, they got to get it together. It's time to hunt, man. You got to get on it, because if you don't get on it now, it's a must-win at Martinsville, and only one person can win. So we'll see what they do for sure. But getting into the playoff standings, man, I tell you what, it's a really good playoff run. The 4 guys that are out now, Elliott, Blaney, Reddick, and Hamlin, find themselves out. I think Hamlin and Reddick are probably safe on points. They can have some guys ahead of them, Joey Logano or whoever, have some misfortune and make their way into the goods. But Elliott, for sure, has got to go out, and I really think he needs to win. And Blaney, for sure, I think he needs to go out and win too. We'll see what happens. I mean, both of them are good. We know they're talented race car drivers, and again, we'll see what they can go out and get done. But at the end of the day, they're out right now. And like I said, I mean, dude, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, and Joey Logano are sitting gravy. Logano's sitting better than anybody, but man, those guys are sitting good. So get into that Vegas recap, baby. I tell you what, that was a really good race there at Vegas. I hated it. I didn't win the game of skill here at Coaches, which kind of upset me a little bit for sure. I had it until I didn't have it, but at the end of the day, that's the way it goes, man. But I tell you this, great racetrack, a lot of different strategies. Restarts are crazy. It's very fast, man. It was just awesome. And again, big congrats to Joey Logano going out, playing that fuel strategy and getting it done. Again, I hate it for Christopher Bell. He looked like the guy to beat all day long, 160-plus laps led there. And it's a heartbreak. He got a little taste of his own medicine. I think he comes back hungry this week. But, yeah, man, heartbreak for him, Didn't go without some crazy stuff. I don't know if you guys were watching, as I mentioned earlier, Martin Truex and Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick. And Reddick took full blame for it, which I give him mad props for saying that. He goes, man, I stuck it in there. You gotta take it when you can, and it closed up on him. And I think maybe the 19 washed up a little bit, and the 9 kind of got up too. But at the end of the day, it's just a racing deal. But what a ride. I mean, how you hit the quarter mile track and flip over on your hood and land back on your wheels and drive it back into pit road like, yeah, I'm good. And tire changer said, nah, dude, that's a wrap, man. But hey, it happens, it goes on with that stuff. Again, like I said, Kyle Larson battling back a really strong run, and it shows perseverance from that 11 team. 2 laps down to come back to finish 11th. I mean, in modern era NASCAR, 2 laps down, and I get it, caught a caution, did this, did that. 2 laps down, though, to drive back up and get 11th after a disastrous pit stop and then having to come back down again. Speaks volumes on how resilient that team is, and I'm telling you guys, the 5's going to be in the hunt. The 5's going to be in the hunt for sure, so keep an eye on him. But all in all, again, like I said, I love Vegas. I think it's a great track, 1.5 mile, D shape. It's very different. It's got its own characteristics and personality. It's a lot different than in Atlanta or Homestead, even though we're all 1.5 miles, or a Texas or whatever you may be. But a really good race, and I'm glad we go there twice a year. I think it's, obviously weather's great. I think it's time we shake it up a little bit. Maybe Vegas becomes the championship race. Why not, right? We already do the award ceremony there and do this. I mean, why not make a 2-week spectacle of it, or however long? Maybe Vegas becomes the championship race 1.5 miles. I don't know. Just a thought. We'll see what happens. But all in all, good race, man. Getting into Miami, baby. I tell you what, this is one of my favorite racetracks, just like Kansas. Miami and Kansas is probably 2 of my favorite 1.5 miles. Progressive banking, spread out wide. These guys are going to go 3, 4, 5 wide at times. Restart's going to be crazy. They're going to get after it, man. They are going to get after it. And a lot of teams this time right here, if you're short track package getting good, this is it. This is the last real big chance you got to lock yourself into that 4, man. So we'll see what happens. Make sure you tune in this Sunday. But better yet, come out to Coach's Corner, baby. Savannah's hub for NASCAR racing right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia, man. Getting into that top 5, man, I tell you what. I went back and forth about a lot of them, but I tell you what. I'm gonna take 20 car number 1. I'm taking Christopher Bell number 1 this weekend. Hungry, he's pissed, and they're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring it this weekend, man. I got a feeling he's gonna dominate again. Hopefully, no BS fuel strategy gets in the way, or maybe they do something a little bit different. But man, you gotta figure out a way to win this one. But I'll take Christopher Bell number 1. Number 2, Kyle Larson, as always. Come on, Young Money ain't falling out of the 1, 2, 3 spot. I promise you that. Young Money's going to do it. Again, Highline driver, great guy. We all know in Miami that Highline comes into play. He's going to have it strung out by that wall, high speed, going out, getting names, kicking ass. 3, William Byron, baby. William Byron, I'll take. I think this is one of his better racetracks, if you ask me. I think he's got a knack for it. Him and Rudy Fugle definitely have it figured out, so I'll take 24 third. 4 for me, 45 of Tyler Reddick. Him and Byron, I kind of went back and forth. Reddick's going to have a good run, too. We know Highline driver. He can string it out there, man. I think there again, Toyota runs good at Miami. Hungry after last week. I think they had a good car. Again, he said it. Patience might have paid off. But at the end of the day, I'll take him 4. 5, I can't leave out Denny Hamlin. How many championships Denny Hamlin lost at Miami is uncountable. You can't even fathom the amount of championships Denny Hamlin lost at Miami. So he knows how to get around there. So I'll take him 5th. Dark horses, I'll tell you what. 2 guys you got to watch out for. 54 car, Ty Gibbs. I'll tell you that. I will say I think that kid, if they can put a complete race together, he'll have a chance to win at Miami. I really think that. I really think that this is the one. I said he'd win this year. $5 bet on the week right here. I'll take Ty Gibbs. You guys can have the field. If he wins, you donate in. If y'all take the bet, write it on it when you see it. Like I said, write in the comments. $5 bet, I'm taking the field. Hey, I'll pay out to whoever takes it, man. And I really think the 14 of Chase Briscoe. Why? I don't know. I just got a feeling. Man. I know a Ford. I think the 14 of Chase Briscoe shows up this weekend and has a pretty good run. I really do. So we'll see if that plays out. But those are my 5, y'all. Getting into it, baby, the money line. But before we do, got to give a big shout out. Redfin Polarized, the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Doesn't matter. Yeah, the hat, baby. You know what time it is. You see, I got shirt, hat, glasses. Hell, I don't know. I don't rock the glasses very often. I wear them around, but hey, it doesn't matter. Made for the woods, the water. It don't matter if you got money on the line or a wall hanger. Make sure you see it clearly with the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Redfin Polarized, baby. Italian frames, Carl Zeiss lenses. These things have you covered. Made for the woods, the water. All kinds of different polarization needs. Doesn't matter what it is, man. Make sure you check that website out for some apparel, some really good glasses. Use code Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Save you 15 at checkout, baby. Save you 15%. Hey, that's a deal, man. And like I said, it don't matter, man. Woods, water, whatever. Don't get caught without your red fins, baby. As always, live life fins up. Redfin Polarized, man. So getting into the money line, surprise, surprise, as y'all should know, Kyle Larson's the favorite, y'all. I mean, we know how that's going to be. That's going to be every race we go to for the rest of the year. That's going to be every race we go to for the rest of the year. Maybe not Martinsville, but it's going to be every race. I promise you that. So, at Miami, you got to take them. I said my 5 from here on out the rest of the season. That's what me and Lawrence are doing. We're going all top 5 drivers for the win, and we go in the dark horses for the win and maybe a top 5 depending on the odds. All right, Alex Bowman. There you go. Miami, that's my top 5 pick. I'll take him. I don't care where he can qualify 31st. I'll take Alex Bowman, top 5 again, okay? But at the end of the day, man, you look a little deeper in the field. I mean, he's followed right there behind, again, the staples. I named him 45, the 20 car, the 12, the 11. I think Blaney's a little bit of a trap at Miami. I think he's ranked a little bit too high. But at the end of the day, could happen. But then you go a little further in the field. You got the 22, you got the 9, you got the 8 of Kyle Busch. I think a lot of people are going to sleep on this weekend, which will maybe should have been a dark horse, probably going to have a good run. But again, man, and then 54 Ty Gibbs, plus 2,200, 2,300 on the weekend. Top 5 odds, race win. If you're going in for a big hit, there you go, man. But make sure you follow us on social. Lawrence does a great job posting up there on X, formerly known as Twitter. I do not. I keep up. What, we got 3 this weekend or 2? We got 3, right? Trucks there too, right? Yeah, we got 3 this weekend. So starting out in that truck race, you're going to see who we take. We bet on all 3, man. Follow us. Let me see what you guys are locking in on your tickets, man. And tell me if you think I missed something or tell me if you agree. But at the end of the day, we're doing decent. We're up, what we got? Where we at, Lawrence? 13,900 on the year. 13,900 on the year is what we're up unit-wise. I know we're in the goods. We've profited money this year. We've lost money, but we profited some money. So we'll see if we can't end the season strong. But again, keep up with us there on Twitter. And again, post your tickets, man. Let me see what you guys are betting on for sure. So getting into that hard right turn. But before we do, baby, hey, got to give a big shout out to Lamar, the man, the myth, the legend. Lamar's Body Shop, 35 plus years, taking care of all of Savannah's auto collision needs. The best in the business. I'm telling you, doesn't matter what it is. Need a hood, need an estimate, paint job. Make sure you go see Lamar and his team. They're not cutting corners, baby. They're going to shoot it to you straight. 2301 Skidaway Road. Hop, skip, and a jump away from coaches. So I always say it's a win-win. You can go up there, have an estimate done, come over here, eat lunch, have a cold beer, whatever it is you want to do. But again, 2301 Skidaway Road, Lamar's Body Shop. The best in the business for all your auto collision needs. As I always say, don't settle for par. Go see Lamar, baby. So the hard right turn, and this is what I'm asking, guy. More charters are smarter or less is best? So I don't know if anybody's keeping up with it, but total number of charters is dropping after this year. We're going from 36 to 32. Not only that, the lawsuit, we've seen NASCAR threaten to take away 2311's charter, which only means they can still race, but they got to qualify on time, which if you're rained out or you're wrecking qualifying, something bad happens there. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, this is where I stand on it. I've always been a firm believer. I think we need 40 starters every week. We used to have 43 cars in NASCAR. We used to have 43 cars every weekend, and we have 38, 36 most of the time now. We need 40 cars every weekend, and I think NASCAR should cut a deal with new team ownership. Let's say JRM wanted to get in the Cup Series and wanted 2 cars. Cut them a deal on those charters. Give them 2 for 1 or whatever. It's going to be great sponsorship, going to bring great drivers, more fan base added into the Cup Series than what you already got. And he's going to be competitive. That's my biggest thing is competitiveness. I don't want to see 36 guys and 4 of them be just, you're making laps. And I hate to say it, there's teams out there that we all know are doing it. And hats off to them. You're living your dream and making your living the way you want to. But at the end of the day, NASCAR Cup Series need to be about the best of the best. It needs to be about the best equipment, best engineers, best drivers, best crew chiefs. And right now we don't have it. So why not get 40 guys solid? Get 40 legit team ownership. The Junior Motorsports, another team for Trackhouse, another team for 2311, another team for whoever it may be. Let's bump it up. I mean, let's even start giving probation. Let's even start doing probation. Let's say you own a charter and you finish outside the top 30 in points. You're put on probation. And if you don't finish back inside the top 30 in points in 2 years, you lose your charter. And it gets sold to somebody else. I mean, we got to do something. That's just my outlook on it. I think the more solid ownership that we own with big sponsorship and big names that can bring in the bucks, bring in the fans, bring in the talent, and run competitive, it's only going to better the sport. There's no sense in field fillers anymore, as we used to call them, starting parks, whatever you want to call them. In today's Cup Series, we shouldn't be doing that. If we're going to be doing all these things and we're trying to make it this, high technological aspect in the biggest form of racing, and obviously I can say some things that they want to do. They want to be more like Formula One to get the fan base or whatever they want to do. It's not my cup of tea, but whatever they want to do. At the end of the day, you got to get 40 teams that are guaranteed a starting spot that are big money. And right now we just don't have it. So that's my feelings on it. Maybe less is better. I don't really know. I just know I grew up watching the sport in the early 90s, and I watched it go from what it was to Jack Roush having 5 teams and this and that and this and that and this and that, and built up to the pinnacle of the sport to be brought back down to where we're at now. And if we ever want to even come close to reaching the heights we reached in the late 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, it starts with just having a solid fan base and a solid ownership and money going into the cars, man. The BJ McLeods, I'm sorry, I'm not dissing, I'm not putting them down. BJ McLeod, they got to go. The JJ Yeley's got to go. The Rickler Racing, to me, it's got to go. I mean, I know it. They're paying their money just like everybody else. They have a right to be there. That's not what I mean. I hate to say it and hurt people's feelings, but at the end of the day, that's just what I feel, and that's what it is, man. So, love to hear what you guys say. Comment on that. But like I said, 40 of the best teams for the best racing sport there is. All right, baby, that'll do it for the rubbing. We are on to the grubbing. And finally, after a couple off weeks, we do have a nice little snacky snack for us up here on Rubbing and Grubbing. We got a little chicken nachos coming down, which they loaded these bad boys up, and they are very good if you haven't had them. Jalapenos, we got tomatoes, onions, the queso, baby, which Coaches has some amazing queso. Grilled chicken on there. I tell you what, like I said, if you guys hadn't had the food here at Coach's Corner, man, you're either incarcerated or, like I said, you live under a rock. You got to come out and check it out, man. So good eats. Great service. Great people, man. Coach's Corner, center of the universe. Chicken nachos, baby. So that's going to wrap it up for me, man. Hey, Coach Carl, no show tonight live, right? Got one pre-recorded? Yeah, pre-recorded show. Make sure you stay tuned, tune in. Coach Carl DeMasi Sports Report, 7 o'clock tonight. Keeping you up to date. Everything prep sports in the area. Pro sports. Hell, I didn't even boast in it, but let me go ahead. Hell, I wore this shirt last week, too. Let me wipe these off, man. Y'all see that right there, right? That's right, the real #1 in that nation, baby. Texas who? Who? Hell, I think Texas forgot to show up at home. Hell, I think Matthew McConaughey. You know what Texas look like? They look like Matthew McConaughey before the hair plugs, man. As they look like when he started going bald back there in the 30s. And when he was in the 30s, man got a great head of hair. He should be a dog, though. But I love his atmosphere. Hey, dogs, baby. We got a bye week this week. What are we coming up? Florida game? The hate week next week? Shit, man. Dogs by 50. Hell, Billy Napier's fired after next week, y'all. We're going to call that. That's what I got on the gut. He's going to lose his job after we get a hold of him. I promise you that. And old Jamie Davis, old Bama out there, baby. Hey, I got some of my money back. That's right, baby. I had a bet. And I told Lawrence, and it didn't look good. I wasn't very positive about it. I had the dogs for 100 to win, and I had the dogs for another 100 by 10. 1 by 15, that's all I needed. Now we just got to get Carson Beck straight. We get Carson Beck not throwing interceptions, we start winning by 30. That's all I'm saying. Go Dogs, baby. That's going to do it for Rubbing and Grubbing. I'm out, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Make sure you're tuning in live with us. We've been getting the show in a little bit early, which I enjoy. I'm off on Wednesdays now. I enjoy it. We get it done now the way. But make sure, like I said, man, you're following us, Coach's Corner Sports Network, following Coach's Corner, Rubbing and Grubbing, DeMasi Show. Man, keeping up to date. So many good things we do, man. And again, like I always like to say, I use this for a little self-reflection, a little peace. Everything's going pretty good for me, man. I'd like to say, don't be scared to voice your feelings sometimes. We all go through a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of us that keep a lot of things bottled in. We don't like to talk about a lot of our problems. A lot of men especially wear it and take it until you kind of boil over and behaviors come out. So I think for all of us, it's important to remember, you have somebody out there you can voice it to, and just getting it out and saying it out loud definitely helps a lot. So, if you know somebody going through some stuff, man, or having a hard time, make sure you're checking in on them, asking them, and men and women, but mostly men. If you're out there carrying a lot of burden, carrying a lot of the weight, man, just know it's going to be all right. But just talk to somebody. Talk to your significant other. Just say how you're feeling. Express your emotions, man. Get it done over with. Nobody's going to look at you any less, man. That's what it's all about. So get healthy. Be healthy. Have the best life as always. I'm out as always. Again, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week. Another giveaway, baby. We're going to be giving away that high point. Subscribe. We're almost to 400, man, which was the goal for the year, which I didn't think we were going to make it. I really didn't think we were going to make it, but we're almost there. We're almost to 400. Get us there. We need 10 more. Y'all get us there. Anyways, I'm out, y'all. Peace, love. Love you guys. Till next week. As always, stay safe. Wash your hands, y'all. Love you guys.